story. I mean, I've brought this up a few times on the show with other guests, but I just find this so extraordinary. And then I worry that it's not extraordinary. I worry this is going to be happening here, because I think this is the way we are going, where parents and male students were left mortified after their school in Australia, this is Broward College in the state of Victoria, forced them to stand up in assembly in front of all their female classmates and apologise to their female classmates for sexual assaults committed by men. So the boys are asked to basically apologise for the sins of all men against all women to the girls in this assembly. One college student, Craig Daniels, said the assembly was wrong. It should never have happened. He said, I wasn't in the assembly personally, but I know people who were, and it made them feel guilty for something they haven't actually done. He said it could be better by not slapping predator on one gender when it goes both ways. And his mother, Nicole Daniels, said the school had completely messed it up. But is this the way we are going when we talk about sort of white responsibility for crimes of slavery and the like, and women, all women being the victim of male sexual predatory behaviour? Let's talk to Konstantin Kisin about this. He's a comedian and co-host of the Trigonometry podcast. Good morning to you, Konstantin.
Morning, Julia.
Good morning.
I'd like to start by apologising for everything I haven't done to you personally. Apologies.
Thank you. And as a victim, because I am a woman, I accept your apology, Konstantin. But this is the thing, isn't it? This is just the extension of the claims we've had made against men, and the claims we've had made against groups of people based on their ethnicity, their religious, their gender, their sexuality. This idea of, the sins of the father, goodness me, it's the sins of a whole gender now.
It is, and if there's one thing I'd want your listeners to understand is this isn't the first time something like this has happened in history. This is the sort of Maoist struggle sessions where the punishments were collective for individual crimes. This continues to happen throughout history. If you demonize groups of people, as we have been doing for some time, then what you end up with is this sort of collective punishment. And, a lot of us have been warning that this whole social justice ideology leads us to not see each other as individual human beings, but leads us to see each other as members of groups. And therefore, you can be punished for things you personally haven't done, or made to apologize for things you haven't done, by virtue of being a member of a group. And this sort of demonization of groups does not lead to good outcomes, and anyone who's studied history will tell you that.
No, absolutely. And this is the thing, when we had all the protests in Clapham Common after the horrific murder of Sarah Everard, there was a lot of talk about, all women are victims, and people like me were saying, yeah, but not all men are predators. Some men, some bad people commit crimes, and the idea that just because you're the same gender as that person, that you are somehow responsible, in the same way that some women are victims of horrific sex crimes. Well, I'm not one of those, and I'm not a victim. And this is a really strange development. And I certainly was raised in a sort of liberal 60s born household where you judged people on everything, every area of their lives, on what they said and what they did, and not say their gender, their skin colour, their religious background, their sexuality. These things were irrelevant unless relevant to that specific matter, and it was about individual responsibility. And I do wonder, there's actually a big risk here where if every man is responsible for every terrible crime against women on a sexual basis, then why not be the bad man? If you don't get any brownie points for being a good man, and you're going to be blamed whether you do something or not, what's the incentive for men to be good?
Well, yeah, and if you keep demonizing a very large group of people, what you'll end up, as you say, is a lot of people who end up checking out of the system. And you're already seeing that. There's all sorts of movements which, rather than encouraging men and women to work and cooperate together and to live together and to find ways to be in harmonious relationships, we're seeing the two genders being pushed apart. And that's very sad because, I fundamentally believe men and women need each other. They need to work together. That's the basis of any healthy society. And what we're seeing now is not a good path to go down. And as I say, all of this stuff has happened in history before, where you, rather than judging people by their own individual achievements and flaws, as we used to do, now that's very old-fashioned, apparently, we're being told, Julia. We shouldn't do that. What we need to do is look at us as being members of groups. This sort of process is a very, very dangerous path to go down, and it's very sad that it's happening. But equally, a lot of us have been predicting it, because if you infuse everything with this view of view of the world, this is where you end up.
Yep, exactly. You say you're one of the people who has been predicting this. Konstantin Kisin, comedian and co-host of the Trigonometry podcast. Thank you very much indeed. Well, Mike Graham has come into the studio. Are you going to stand up and apologise to me?
Yes, I'm very sorry.
For many different things.
For all sorts of reasons. You know, I'm also apologising for anything that may happen in the future, because that's what's going to happen now. You're going to be going, I was just walking into the room and say, look, I'm really sorry, for everything that's going to happen, for my sons, whatever they've done, whatever they're going to do.
Genuinely, because you've got sons and daughters. I've only got a daughter. I think that the world is a fantastic place for young women right now. I mean, the world's on a plate for them. I would be, if I had a son, a teenage son now, I would be terrified for him.
I mean, they are very much the forgotten gender, if you like, you know, because they're taught that they can't really do anything, they can't say anything.
They're bad people.
That they're not very nice, that, you know, the way that they talk to people is wrong, somehow that they should make way for other genders. They should make way for trans people. They should make way for gay people. They should
make
way
bottom of the pile
for women.
But the idea also that men have been at the top of the pile for so many years, but therefore this generation should move to the bottom of the pile. No, can we all women being equal with men does not mean men being below women.
Well, I don't understand where we went from being, you know, completely and utterly looking at equality so that everybody has the same opportunity to making other people have better opportunities than others. I don't understand what the point of that is.
Very strange.